Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and hello and welcome to all to Bioscience with Shatreen Sawati. And I'm here to deliver my lecture from the coronavirus series, and that lecture will be about the COVID-19 DNA vaccine. I have delivered a lecture about the messenger RNA vaccine, so must watch my lecture about the messenger RNA vaccine and also the structure and the genome and the spike protein. So if you have a concept about the spike proteins and coronavirus structure and genome, these lecture will be easily understand for you people. So I created all these lecture on the basis of the research articles. I'm very thankful to all the researchers, and I'm very thankful to New York Times and AstraZeneca, and I got the a lot of information for creating this lecture from the AstraZeneca website. I'm very thankful to all for providing me such an information for creating this lecture. So must watch my lecture and like my videos and share my videos with others. If you're sharing my videos, my lecture, you're sharing the knowledge. So keep watching, keep sharing knowledge with others. Okay, now I'm going to start my lecture. I will give you the introduction, then about the mechanism of action of the DNA vaccine and the available DNA vaccine in the market. Okay, double standard DNA vaccine of the coronavirus. Actually, coronavirus is RNA containing virus. Single standard positive sense RNA is the genome of the coronavirus. Now the vaccine is the DNA containing vaccine. Then how it will work, I will show you, and how it is created, I will give you a little bit information for that. The SARS coronavirus is studied with protein that it uses to enter into the human cell. These so-called spike proteins make a tempting target for potential vaccines and treatment, as messenger RNA base on the same mechanism for synthesis of the spike protein. So this DNA, this gene, which is the gene of the messenger gene of the coronavirus, which is first converted into the DNA, and then this DNA is wrapped inside or taken inside the what adenovirus, and the adenovirus in this case used as a vector for carrying the vaccine. Like in the case of messenger RNA, the lipid content is used for carrying the vaccine because messenger RNA is very delicate, and in this case the corona virus gene is carried out by the adenovirus, and adenovirus is used as a vector. So this is the spike protein. You can see here the structure of the coronavirus and the genome of the coronavirus. The genome of the coronavirus contains the spike protein gene, or open reading frame for a spike protein. So this spike protein gene is taken by the scientist for creating the DNA, and then this DNA is inserted into the adenovirus for the formation of the spike protein as a vaccine. Now, the researcher added the gene. You can see here the adenovirus taking the DNA inside it, and that DNA is the gene for the formation of the spike protein, and that DNA is actually what? This is the vaccine, which is used for the formation of the spike protein inside the human cell. I will show you. The researcher added the gene for the coronavirus spike protein to another virus called an adenovirus. Adenovirus are common viruses that typically cause cold or flu-like symptoms. The Oxford AstraZeneca team used a modified version of a coronavirus, that is chimpanzee coronavirus, known as CHAdOx1. It can enter into the cell, but it cannot replicate inside the human cell. The reason is that this adenovirus is genetically engineered. This is just using as a vector for carrying the DNA vaccine into the human cell for treating the coronavirus. Okay, this is the structure of the adenovirus. Adenovirus is the DNA containing virus, and this is genetically modified for carrying and used as a vector for carrying the DNA vaccine for coronavirus. Okay, now what is the mechanism of action? Entering a human cell. After the vaccine is injected into the person's arm, the adenovirus bumps into the cell and latch on to proteins on their surface. The cell, human cell, then engulf that virus in a bubble and pull it inside. Once inside, the adenovirus escape from the bubble and travel to the nucleus of the cell, the chamber where the cell's DNA stored. The adenovirus pushes its DNA into the nucleus. I will show you here. You can see. First of all, what will happen? This vaccine containing adenovirus, when enter into the human cell, you can see here the cell membrane engulf that virus, and the bubble is formed, or you can say the simple vesicle is produced around the adenovirus, and then adenovirus move towards the nucleus where the DNA of the human cell is present. And then what will happen? The adenovirus injected its DNA into the human cell nucleus, and inside the nucleus, this DNA, which containing the information for this DNA, or you can simply say that this gene which contain the information for the spike protein formation, is first undergo transcription and making the messenger RNA. Now this messenger RNA produces what? First it travel towards the cytoplasm, move towards the cytoplasm, and inside the cytoplasm, this messenger RNA will use the ribosomes of the human cell for translation, and translated many spike proteins here and fragments of spike proteins here. So this is the mechanism how the gene of the coronavirus is converted into the DNA, and then this DNA, which is the vaccine, is conveyed to the human cell through the adenovirus, and how the adenovirus injected the DNA into the human cell, and into the human cell it entered into the nucleus, and using the human cell machinery that is first undergo transcription and making the messenger RNA, and then messenger RNA move towards the cytoplasm, and in the cytoplasm using the ribosome of the human cell to translate the spike protein. Now what will happen? These spike proteins inside the cell move outside of that cell, and what will happen when the vaccinated cell die? When the vaccinated cell die, this vaccinated cell is then cell debris are now identified by the antigen presenting cell. This is very important type of the cell of the immune system. These cells identify the vaccinated cell at the debris of that cell, and then engulf that cell and the spike proteins. Now what will happen at the same time? The antigen presenting cell will give the message to the helper T cells. Helper T cells become active and give the message to the other type of the cell, which are known as the B cells. Then these B cells, which are antibody producing cells of the immune system, produces antibodies against that spike protein. Is it clear to you? Now what will happen? The B cells produces the antibodies against that spike proteins after getting the message from the helper T cells. So what will happen? The B cells produces antibodies, and these secrete these antibodies, and these antibodies, what will happen now? These antibodies can latch onto coronavirus spike, mark the virus for destruction, and prevent infection by blocking the spike from attacking or attaching to the other cells, human cells. So in this way, the coronavirus whenever enter into the human cell, then what will happen? The antibodies which are produced as a result of the vaccination attack that real virus, coronavirus and then prevent the human from coronavirus. So there is another type of the cell which are known as the T killer cells. This is also the very important type of the cell. And antigen presenting cells not only you can say that activating the helper T cells, but also activating the killer T cells. And these killer T cell, what will happen? Destroy any coronavirus infected cell that display the spike protein fragments on their surface. So you can see different types of the cells: helper T cells, antigen presenting cells, how the antigen presenting cell activate the helper T cells, and on the other hand, the helper killer T cells, and how the helper T cells activate the B cells for the production of the antibodies, and now how the antibodies will stop the spread of the coronavirus inside the human body by attacking the spike proteins or the spikes of the coronavirus. Is it clear to all of you? This is overall mechanism. The mechanism after the messenger RNA information is same both in the case of the messenger RNA vaccine and as well as in the DNA vaccine. I hope so. I hope so. The concept will be clear upon you people. And now you can see here the comparison between the messenger RNA vaccine, which I have discussed in detail in my previous lecture. So must watch my lecture about the messenger RNA vaccine. And now you are watching my lecture about the DNA vaccine, and you can see here the clear difference and the comparison between the two types of the vaccines. Okay. Now, available vaccine. As I have discussed, the available vaccine is the AstraZeneca. Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine is based on the virus genetic instruction for building the spike protein. But unlike the, I have discussed in detail about the Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna vaccine in my lecture about the messenger RNA. So Pfizer's and Moderna both are what? Messenger RNA containing vaccine, which store the instruction in the single-stranded RNA or messenger RNA. The Oxford vaccine uses double-stranded DNA, and how the double-stranded DNA is creating from the single-stranded positive sense RNA of the coronavirus. This is a mechanism using what? Reverse transcription for creating this sort of the double-stranded DNA. The University of Oxford partnered with the British-Swedish company AstraZeneca to develop a test coronavirus vaccine known as CHAdOx1 and also known as AZD1222. A large clinical trial showed the vaccine offers strong protection with an overall efficacy of 79%. But AstraZeneca efficacy is less as compared to Pfizer's and Moderna. Moderna and Pfizer's almost 94-93% efficacy. But the difference is that there is a difference of the efficacy and there is a difference of the price too. AstraZeneca is cost effective, but Pfizer's and AstraZeneca roundabout in Pakistan, one dose is about 6,000. And this is about hardly $300-400, I think so. $2 to $3 price of the AstraZeneca is. So the dozens of the countries have authorized the vaccines for emergency use, but it is not yet authorized by the Food and Drug Administration. In March, more than a dozen countries paused use of the vaccines over concern about the possible rare blood clots is noticed in some cases. Okay. Good side of the DNA vaccines, the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccines for COVID-19 is more rugged than the messenger RNA vaccine from the Pfizer and Moderna. DNA is not as fragile as RNA. As we know that DNA is stable as compared to RNA. And the adenovirus tough protein coat keep protect the genetic material inside. As a result, the Oxford vaccine does not have to stay frozen. This is very advantageable or beneficial. The vaccine is expected to last for at least 6 months when refrigerated is 38 to 46 degrees centigrade. Okay. Recommended dose. The Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine requires 2 doses, like the Pfizer's and Moderna, given 4 weeks apart to prime the immune system to fight off the coronavirus during the clinical trial of the vaccines. The researchers unwittingly gave some volunteers only half a dose, surprising the vaccine combination in which the first dose was only half strength was 90% effective at preventing COVID-19 in the clinical trial. In contrast, the combination of the two full dose shots lead to just 62% efficacy. The researchers speculate that the lower first dose did a better job of mimicking the experience of an infection and promoting a strong immune system when the second dose was administered. So I'm hopeful the lecture will be clear upon you people. If you like this video, kindly share this video, and thank you very much. I will be back with a new lecture. Up till Allah Hafiz.